A little bit of a cloudy, rainy day here at the club, so this is a perfect day for us to stay inside and to do some fun racket skills, games and drills. Really looking forward to be able to go outside soon. Hopefully that'll happen, and we'll be able to play tennis and pickleball. Just want to introduce, I also brought my daughter again this Saturday, my daughter Maddie. She's going to help me out, and we'll be doing some various different fun things that we could do at home. First thing is we're going to use balloons. Maddie, what color you want? You go blue this time? All right. And I'll go yellow. I know I went yellow last time, so I'll go blue. All right. Do you want to start off with a pickleball paddle, or do you want to start with a tennis racket?
I'll do tennis racket.
All right, I'll go pickleball. All right. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go with ups. Okay. And again, all you really need is just a balloon. You can be in your home and just hitting the balloon up, keeping it going. And the thing that you want to remember, Maddie, just keep doing that, is you want to remember to have your continental grip. We've talked about this before. It's like the side of your racket is like a hammer. Continental grip, you could have one finger out, you could have two fingers out, or you could hold it with your fingers closed. You see, Maddie's got her fingers open just a little bit on the tennis racket, which is nice. Okay? We're going to be doing that. After we do the forehands, we're now going to do the backhand side. Okay? The backhand side. And again, you don't have to hit the balloon too high. You just want to just be able to control it nice and easy and follow it, okay? All right, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to do flip-flops. And what you're going to do is you're going to keep turning your hand over. And again, it's so important that you have the continental grip. You do not want to switch grips. You won't have time to do that, especially if you're playing on a real court to be able to do that. So you want to be able to work on this. Okay, you can do your flip-flops. And the third thing, we can have a little fun, and you're going to hit it up and then bounce it off your head. Hit it up, bounce it off your head. And you can follow Maddie, you don't have to follow me.
I'm following.
Bouncing off your head. And you can do the backhand side or the forehand side first, and then do the opposite way. Okay? Again, one of the things that I really try to really emphasize is that whenever you're practicing with a friend, that not only you practice hitting just forehands, practice backhands as well. You want to keep them equal. Again, tennis and pickleball very similar to basketball. You want to be somewhat ambidextrous. You don't want to be more competent moving to the forehand side or more proficient moving to the forehand side than to the backhand side. If your opponent sees that, they're going to be like a shark with blood, and they're going to go after your weaker stroke. So if you have a weaker stroke, I highly recommend that you work on it a little bit longer to try to get it so it's about the same. You're always going to have a little bit favored side, but if we were to, let's say, evaluate it 1 through 10, and I was to say I can hit my forehand at a 9, but I can only hit my backhand at a 4, that's just too far apart. You want it to be, let's say, a 9 and an 8, or a 9 and a 7, but you don't want it to be too unequal, okay? That's that. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to hit the balloon up in the air, and then we're going to spin. And again, you want to hit it up and you want to spin, and this is just fun, and you don't want it to hit the ground, okay? And again, you can see that Maddie and I are both doing this in a very small space. So you could do this in your living room or your dining room and have some fun doing it. All right, so that's the first thing we're going to do is we're going to do it with a balloon. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to do it with a ball. Maddie, now do you want to use a pickleball paddle, or do you want to use a tennis racket? You want to switch?
Yeah.
She's going to switch, okay? So I will use my tennis racket now, okay? And Maddie's going to use a pickleball racket, okay? And again, the thing with tennis is you could use either a foam ball if you want. You can come over to the club and we'll get you a foam ball if you don't have one, okay? Or you could use a tennis ball. Maddie, of course, is going to use a pickleball because that's so light, it really won't break anything in house. So again, we're going to start off with forehands. And again, you want to remember, especially to keep that forehand grip, keep it going, okay? And so you can do it. So one of the things you could do is you could have a little competition, okay? So what I'm going to say is, we're going to have a little say who could be who's going to be the weakest link, Okay, so on 3, we're going to do a split step. 1, 2, 3, split step. You are frozen. You are not allowed to move. You cannot move your feet. And off of the forehand side, whoever goes the longest, okay, without moving their feet, keeping the ball going. Okay, and I moved my feet. So Maddie, she won the first game. All right. And the next time we're going to do it on the backhand side. So Maddie, on 3, do a split step. 1, 2, 3, split step. You are frozen. You are not allowed to move. You are frozen. Okay, and doing it off the backhand side. Okay? And the whole family could be doing this. Okay? Doing this and keeping it going. And I'm having a tough day. I missed, and she barely beat me out on that one. So Maddie won the second game. And the third one you want to do, of course, is flip-flop. So 1, 2, 3, split step. You are frozen. You cannot move. And now you're going to do flip-flops. Boom. Uh-oh, she does not want to lose. All right, so she missed. Okay, that's the third one. And the last one we're going to do, and this is probably the most difficult, is I call it sidewinders. Okay, and what you can do is just going to bounce the ball down off the side of your frame. And I just missed. Okay, off the side of your frame and keep the ball going. And whoever does it the longest. Yep, so you can do it with your pickleball.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
And you can definitely see that the pickleball is a lot more difficult, and what she has to do is get down low. Oh, she beat me again. All right, so that's outstanding. All right, so I think that everybody should have some fun doing that, okay? All right, the next drill we're going to do is we're going to be doing hitting the ball down, okay? So instead of doing it up, we're going to be doing downs. Okay, let me get another ball because mine took off. Okay, and you probably want to use a tennis ball on that because the pickleball is just too difficult. Okay, and again, we're going to go 1, 2, 3, split step, and we're just going to go hitting it down. Okay, now on this one, you're not going to be able to do the backhand side, so you're just going to be doing the forehand side and keeping it going. And again, you're not going to be moving your feet. Keeping yourself very balanced, nice wide stance, okay? And not only is this good for control, but it's also, especially with a tennis racket, it is somewhat fatiguing. You're getting a nice little workout on your forearm, your extensor muscle, okay? The next drill we're going to do is a progression drill, all right? So Maddie, you're over on the other side. Do you want to do a pickleball or do you want to do tennis first? What do you usually like to use? Tennis, okay, great. Okay, again, in your house, the one thing that Maddie's going to do, you can use a chair. Okay, get right up to the chair. And what I'm going to do is I'm first going to feed her forehands. And what she has to do is she has to hit the ball directly back to me. I am not allowed to move my feet. If I catch it, she gets the point. So 1, notice she has the continental grip. 2, she has very little racket movement. She's not swinging. 3, all she's doing is just blocking the ball. 4, 5, 6, okay, we'll just do for this purpose right now, we're just going to do 6, and then she's going to go over to the backhand side, all right, and again, the things that I want you to notice is, again, she has the continental grip, but more important, Maddie freeze, okay, look at that racket head is above her wrist. Now show how you drop the racket head, okay, that you do not want to do, okay, you're going to get a very weak shot. If you're playing tennis or even pickleball and you see somebody collapse their wrist, or even reach far for the ball like that. As soon as I see my opponent do that, immediately, as soon as I see that, I'm going to anticipate a weak response. I'm going to move in off of the shot. Okay, so then she would do that, and we could do, let's say, 9 and 10, and then we can switch. And now we're going to do flip-flops, okay? We go forehand to backhand side, okay, good. Forehand to backhand side, and that's 9, 10, and then we're going to switch. Okay? And then we're switch, and that's okay. And now it's my turn. So one thing that I want you to see what I do is in my ready position, if I was in the backcourt hitting ground strokes, my ready position, my hands can be close to my body. But when I'm hitting volleys, my ready position is much different. My hands are out in front of me, and she's going to go to my forehand first. Okay? 1, 2, 9, 10. She's going to go to my backhand side. 9, 10, and then forehand to backhand. And again, notice I do not switch grips. And one of the things that you may or may not be able to recognize right now is even with me having very little racket movement, she's throwing the ball to me, let's say 5 miles an hour, my ball's going back to her like 8 miles an hour. And I don't have to swing to generate that power. What you don't really see is just as I'm about to hit, I start to move my body weight forward, and my power is still coming through my legs, through my core, okay? I'm not really moving in like I would in tennis. This would be more, let's say, like in pickleball right now, okay? Again, you can pick up these foam balls. Now, you want to throw it right to me, okay? Oh, she missed me. And what I wanted to show is that these foam balls do not hurt, okay? You can hit you right in the head, and they won't hurt. They're excellent. So again, if you want to come to the club, we'll get you one, and you can work with your kids with the foam balls, okay? Great. All right, the next drill, let me just close the door right now. And this drill, you absolutely do not want to do this one in your house, okay? You want to do this in your garage, okay? And Spaska, you made... What we did is we have 2 buckets right there, 2 buckets, and what you're all going to do is you put a piece of tape on the floor, and what you're going to do is you're going to try to hit the ball into the buckets, okay? Again, the thing that I'm looking for right now is just to control, have a little fun, use the continental grip. I don't really care if you hold the racket up by the throat, or you can hold it right down by the handle, whichever you feel more comfortable. And me and Maddie are going to have a little competition. We see the first one, who gets 3 in, okay? And
one went.
Sort of.
Who got that, Maddie?
Yeah.
Come on, get in. Come on. All right, well, you get the idea. We did this earlier, and there's one. So, now, one of the things that I know many of you don't have, there's 2, okay? And, oh, I
got one in yours, so.
Okay, so, is that I have a lot of tennis balls. I have like over 100 balls in there, and that is, it's just easier. All of you don't have a lot of tennis balls, okay? So you can do this drill a little bit differently and make it competitive. Is only 1 ball. You can only use 1 ball. If you miss, you got to go get it. If you get it in, you get a point. So ready, set, go. Run up. Go back behind the line. All right, I got my 1 in right there. So we're just going to go for 1. But it's fun. It's a little bit of a conditioning drill. It's a lot of fun. You're using it that way. You could do it you could do it against each other. Okay. Then the other way you could do it is, and this is where I am going to ask. Actually, Spots, could you stand over there? Or that's fine right there. It's good. I'm going to ask Maddie to hold her right grip. So on her forehand side, she has an Eastern forehand grip. And this time what I'm going to do is I'm going to bounce the ball, and she's going to take her full swing, and she got it in on the first try. I got to tell you, she did that in practice as well. So that was excellent. So you do forehands first, okay? And then I would switch and move over, okay? And then we are going to do backhands, okay? Backhands. Good. All right? And again, you could be doing this. And nice, and there's your backhands. Great. All right, and then you bring, and again, you can either use the whole basket. We're using this right now. And then here you go, grab a ball. And now we are going to just do volleys. So we're both doing that, and nice and easy. Here's 1, 2, 3. All right, and I'd have to say that that is something that I would definitely say that I would win, because my generation, the way we played, it was a serve volley game, and probably the best part of my game was definitely the serve volleys. My volleys are definitely the strongest aspect of my game. in tennis, for sure. You could do that with either the tennis racket, or you could do it with the pickleball paddle. Either way, you could do this game. It's a lot of fun to play with your family, okay? All right, the next thing we're going to do is, I am a firm believer, as a former player and as a former coach, okay, a stronger athlete is a better athlete, and I really believe in conditioning, okay? So what we're going to do is, Maddie and I, we're going to use the steppers right here. Of course, you all don't have a stepper at your house, but you can still use the step in your house. And what you're going to do is, I'll be going to the forehand side. Maddie will be going off the backhand side. And what I like about this exercise is, not only am I working on conditioning, but I'm working on technique as well, okay? So you'll see a few things that we're doing, that we're working on our technique. And again, as a former college coach, almost all of my conditioning, and my conditioning program, we did 40 minutes of conditioning every single time before we played practice. I wanted my players, before they play, to be tired, because when they get in a match and they get into a third set, it's something that they're used to, okay? And then they don't feel sad for themselves going, oh, I'm tired or I'm hot. So my conditioning was before practice and not after practice, okay? So what we're going to be doing is, we're going to go to our outside foot. No, man, you're right there, outside foot. We're going to do I'm going to do my forehand. I'm going to step forward. I'm going to go up on the ladder. I'm going to go tap, tap, go down, forehand stroke, go back up on the step, tap, tap. 3, tap, tap, 4, 5, now you can count, 6, if you count, okay. Notice how she's counting, how as I land, I'm landing on my outside leg, all my weight is on my outside leg, this is where I'm getting my power from. I have my hips and shoulders are now perpendicular to the net, and I drive the ball with my lower part of my body. I weigh 190 pounds. My daughter weighs what, 105? Okay, tops. She can hit the ball as hard as I can on the tennis court. And you go, where is she getting this power from? She's getting the power through her core, through her legs. It is so, so important. So you do that to 10 sides, and then you would go the opposite way. So open stance, stroke, tap, tap, go back down, open stance. What's that, 4?
Yes.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Great. And you could do it, like I said, off of the forehand, the backhand, and then as well as you could do it for volleys. So what we're going to do is, off of volleys, I'm going to go my outside foot, step forward, 1, go back, tap, tap, right, left, volley, 2, go back up, tap, tap, 3, 4. Now the thing that I want you to notice is, on my volley, is my hands, my racket head is above my wrist, and my hands are way out in front of me. I'm not like getting that ball behind me, so I get handcuffed when I'm playing. So you do that off the forehand side, and then off of the backhand side. Outside foot, forward, 1, go back, tap, tap, 2, 3, that was a stroke, 4, 5, again, my racket head is above my wrist, my arm is slightly bent, I'm relaxed, I do have a firm wrist, and that's what we do. Same thing, you could do this also with your pickleball racket, okay? So you want to just grab your pickleball racket, okay? But what you would probably do is just put a line down, and then you would go 1, 2, and stay parallel, and then go back up, 1, don't move forward, 2, don't step over because you get your paddle, you don't want to go over, 3, 4, and 5, and we're going to go to the backhand side, and the same thing, hands in front of you, 1, oh, I stepped into the kitchen on that one, 2, and 3. And notice how I keep my hands in front of me. Okay, now, again, remember, we are using these steppers so we can move to the right or left. If you were at home and your steps went up like that, I would be able to do forehands like this, but then once I did backhands, I'd have to turn and do it this way, okay? So you could still use your steps in your house, or you could do it on the curb outside your house as well, whichever way, okay? So those are conditioning drills. It's actually kind of fatiguing. It's sort of like using our Stepmaster that we have in our gym. Okay, and then the last drill is kind of fun. It's a cooperative fun drill that we could do with each other. Is use a medicine ball. You don't have to use a medicine ball. You could use a can of spaghetti or something, or
Not heavy enough.
maybe if it's not glass, right? Do something that weighs about 2 or 3 pounds. This ball only weighs 4, and what we do is we're going to turn. And again, this is a great exercise for the good hip and shoulder rotation that we have. Okay, notice that when I go here, again, I'm on my outside leg, and my outside leg pushes the other leg, pushes through with the other one. Okay? Great. All right, so those are some of the drills. A few of the things that you're going to need at home: a balloon, a tennis ball. You could use a foam ball. You can get a foam ball, pick it up here at the club. Okay, you could use your steps. You could use a chair. These are items that you do have in your house that you could use and have do some fun drills at home for both pickleball and tennis. Okay, if anybody has any questions, I'm here at the club 5 days a week. Call me, or you can call me at home. You know my telephone number. I've given it out numerous times. You want me to give it out again? 443-756-8379. And I just want to thank Maddie for her help. I want to thank Spaska. Spaska, turn the camera on you. There she is. Okay? And I appreciate it for you guys spending time with us for the day. Thank you and have a great day.